या देवी सर्वभूतेषु वृत्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. To that Devi who in all beings is abiding in the form of activity. Salutations to her, salutations to her, salutations to her, salutations again and again.
Keep your Namaskara Mudra in place. Namaste Anjali Mudra is meant for calming down our entire nervous system. It enhances the working of the corpus callosum, which is the place where messages from the left brain and the right brain cross over. It makes us quiet. It makes us feel much reassured and comforted. We are going to focus on our breath for just 1 minute. And as you focus on your breath, I would like you to focus on your exhale. And with each exhale, I want you to bring your shoulders down. With each exhale, I want you to feel your muscles relaxing. With each exhale, I want you to feel your feet falling outward as they totally and consciously let go of all the tightness. As you focus on the exhale, you are getting softer and softer, quieter and quieter. Keeping your palms in Namaskara, I just want you to open your eyes gently because I want you to see what we're going to do next. We're going to flow into the Durga Mudra. Yes, she has a mudra. And before that, I would like you to come a little forward on your seat so that your feet are firmly on the ground. And when I say focus on the soles of your feet, you can apply pressure on them. If you're too back on your seat, this will be a little difficult to do. So come as forward as you are comfortable. And then your palms, you can separate them, fist them up, and put your thumb in between your index finger and middle finger, like it rests on the middle finger, but it is touching the web between them. Durga Mudra. And you're going to keep your arms like you are taking on some weight, like you are doing weights right now. So you're going to pressurize your fist. So you're going to clench the mudra. See, now I've tightened it up. You're going to tighten your biceps, your triceps. And you're going to start applying pressure on the soles of your feet. So you're going to feel a firmness in your legs as well as in your arms. If you're doing this correctly, you're also going to feel a firmness happening because your lower abdomen muscles are getting used. Please close your eyes as I recite her mantra. Stay in the clenched Durga Mudra. Om Dam Durgaye Namaha. I am willing, 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 I am willing. Om Dam Durgaye Namaha. I am willing, 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 I am willing. Feel free to do it along with me. Om Dam Durgaye Namaha. I am willing, 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 I am willing. Fully tighten your fists, your arms, your feet. Feel the pressure flowing through your body, keeping your muscles as though you are getting ready for a battle. I want you to feel, sense, experience Durga energy flowing through you. She is invincible. She is irresistible. She is indestructible. When she shows up, no Rakshasas or demons can stand in her way. She is of fire without burning. She is eternal, timeless, and in the form that you know her, I want you to see her sitting on top of your head, an inch above your head. Light radiates out from behind her and from her palm. She is pure, compassionate, benevolent, divine, feminine mother. Receive Durga Ma. Receive Durga Ma. Receive Durga Ma. Allow her to empower you. Durgat Trataye iti Durga. When she shows up in our lives, she does not allow for any misfortunes or mishaps to take place. She is a protector like nobody else. I want you to sense, experience, recognize, and receive this protection. Warm, fiery, but not burning. And then slowly unfisting your palms and bringing them back in Namaskara Mudra, bowing. The Durga in me receives the Durga in you. Your palms will be warm and hot, so just cup your eyes, let the heat sink in. It'll be a very comfortable heat, and that's the comfortable heat of Durga Ma. And with your eyes being cupped and the heat flowing in, I just want you to blink. And while blinking, gently bring your palms down. Whenever you're ready, adjust, sit back comfortably, have some turbocharged rich water, and let us begin.
Jai Mata Di.
Jai Mata Di.
Amazing, Nidhu. Just palms are still warm. It was so uplifting. And when you came to imagine an inch above your head, even before you said light behind her and light from her palm, it was the image that I'd seen. And I've got the tika on my fingers as well now. The it was rejuvenating, it was exhilarating, and it was simultaneously calming, if that makes sense.
Very much, because that is what the mudra does. The mudra is known as an anti-panic mudra. It's a mudra for calm, courage, confidence. And it's extremely energizing because the heat that she brings into the body becomes rajas. And rajas is the attribute and quality we all have of taking action. In fact, one of the most important, necessary recognitions of Durga Ma is the way that she is different from the other goddesses. Nilu, would you just show us her picture?
Yes.
I want of you all, especially those of you all who are very comfortable with the Hindu pantheon, where you are familiar with how gods are, goddesses are, Tell me, can you make out one significant difference in Durga Ma and the other gods, goddesses? There's something distinctive. There are two things that are distinctive about her. And just by the way, in the divine feminine theology, she is the creator.
While
Can you
people
all make
while people write in what you've just asked them, Nidhu, there were reactions, responses to the mudra from the beginning. I can see tears coming down Alice's eyes. I know she's overwhelmed somewhere, a happy overwhelm. It shows. It's Ria said I was getting pain in the start. Lata said feeling emotional. Shobha said I could feel the heat on my heart and a slight pain in my upper back. Amanda said feeling warm and energized. Punita said feeling hot, hot, hot. Muscles feel stretched. Thighs still trembling. Palms have deep grooves. Sushmita said had a break because a cat had sneakily entered her house, but still palms are warm, yawns and burps. And Monique said, very emotional, lots of tears, comfortable warmth, feeling protected. Thank you so much. Barbara said, wonderful feeling. Saw her in all white riding a magenta tiger. Rupal says, I think to your question, power. And I feel Durga Ma coming and blessing me. And Alice says she's red and she clears my entire center column. Stephanie says I became emotional and tearful. Anju said palms are warm. Trishi says sneezed twice. The responses and reactions are pouring in. Nidhu, I know you just asked everybody a question. Sonal said a slight pain in my left forehead came and went. Daisy said feeling warm and tired from the hold. Need to go to the gym more.
that's one of the things that's coming up, but we'll get there.
Absolutely. In fact, I'm just going to come back to this. Okay, so there are questions with the questions that you had asked. I'm giving you some of the responses that have come in. And before we take that further, I do have something else to say. Jaya says she is unique, has 8 hands, and every hand is an item, which is indicative of energy, love, power. Shahana says she is calm despite sitting on a fierce mount. And I told you that'll go. It just fell, and that's it. Neha says her vehicle is the lion. She is calm yet looks powerful, says Rajeshwari. Alison says difference, light shining from the hand. These are the responses that are coming in, and says is on tiger, not on lion. Vandana says Durga Ma is more calm, very calm and composed, and she has the qualities of all other goddesses. And I just wanted to bring up something immediately here for everybody, for you, and which is basically this. People, this is exactly the kind of work that Nidhu is famous for. It's simple, it's gentle, it's powerful, it's easy, effective. It's based on ancient Eastern wisdom and the energies of planets and stars and gods and goddesses, earth and sky. We have so many stories we could share with you. For example, D, and I'm using just alphabets because we're maintaining a degree of privacy here. D said that I'm stunned that at this time my stocks went up by $3,000. What's that, Nidhu? About 2 lakh rupees?
Yeah.
And this happened just hours after the decree, which we are yet to come to, but getting that. Do you want this to happen to you, people? If yes, type in yes on the group. A said received 6,000 rupees or $82 within 3 hours of the last call. Thanks so much. Do you want this to happen for you? Say yes. And
in fact, yes. In a couple of hours of the call, got a new client as well as 20,000 rupees. It was like, it was just absolutely incredible, which is almost $200-300 in about 2 hours. Like I remember we were still chatting on the group and she quickly posted it in.
Right. And M, in fact, said that I'm so very ecstatic for so many things happening with money in my life. My husband had to get 7,000 rupees or $95, and he has got 30,000 rupees or $408. How amazing is that? R said that today I got 10,000 rupees or $136 in my account, which was money pending for work done. And we said, yippee, just received 51,000 rupees or $694 in my work account as advance for my product. Do you want any of this to be a part of your money story? Say yes. Say yes already. And in fact,
Then say yes.
I want to ask everybody, everyone, and you know what the answers are, and you got to type it in. Tell me, are you ready to become a money magnet? Type yes. Type it in, put it in. Lots of yeses coming in. Love it. Are you willing to have more money in life? Say yes. Maybe you also say yes.
Yes.
Are you ready for the 4 secrets of money you ever need to know and the 11 actions you need to stop right away to start being a money magnet? Are you ready for that? Say yes.
For sure, yes.
Are you ready for the gentlest, fastest, speediest, simplest, fastest? Did I say fastest already?
Fastest.
Method where shifts take place in seconds and results show up in hours. Say yes. Are you ready for money blessings with goddess decrees?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
You ready? I love how you do that, Neelu. One more time.
One more time. I have to stop laughing first. Okay, for everyone, one more time. The yeses have got it coming. Are you ready? And the beats are playing in the background. Loads of yeses in, triple yeses, huge exclamations, multiple Y's, E's, S's. It's all in, Nidhu. The floor is yours. And because I mentioned decrees, I will bring it up. But please, like I said, floor is yours. Take it away.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you. And I noticed on the group, because I just take it for granted that I know everybody and everybody knows me. But fortunately, yeah, Swati and Lata on the group mentioned that they don't know what decrees are. So, quick, very brief crash course on decrees. Like Neelu said, simplest. Decrees consist of just one word or 2 words or 3 words or 4 words. And decrees are these unimaginably powerful words and sentences. Like all words have the power to heal or harm. All words are powerful. All sentences are prayers. Decrees are words and sentences that are divinely blessed and cosmically ordered to bring you what you want. And there are 2 ways we can get what we want. One is we need to make space for it. If we are house full with, let us say, clutter, mental clutter, physical clutter, emotional clutter, we can't have monies show up because there's no space for it. And the other way is when we work more proactively on the creation of money, on the generating of money, on the manifesting and attracting of money. So every time you work with the decrees, you need to be aware of the fact that money will come or messages of money will come. Like I remember just today morning, Meena on the group, sorry, I think it was Meeta on the group, she was saying, I'm listening to the money work. She was doing her money work. I'm not seeing money, but I have this huge amount of sadness and I always feel like crying. That is a money message. Money is saying, listen, I can't come to you because you are house full with sadness and tears. Let these go right now. So when you are doing any kind of money work, you need to make sure that you've got your eye on the ball. And the ball is not how's it going to come, where's it going to come from, who is going to give it to me. The ball is what is my next reaction? What is my next symptom? Is the money showing or is the money message showing? Do I need to clear or do I need to attract? The decrees are the fastest way to make that happen. Because you can imagine, my darlings, what does it take to say one word, not even a second? What does it take to say 3 words, 4 words, 2 seconds? Let me give you this example. On a scale of 0 to 10, how much is your financial stress right now? Let us say that it is at a 4, because I saw your money awareness on the Telegram group and it is very good. This is good money insights, money connections, money bondings. It's good. So I'm just saying your financial stress is just 4 now. In the body and just say financial stress you can leave now. That's 4 words. You can leave now. You can leave now is Saturn's decrees. It's not the goddess decrees, but it's the foundation for all decrees. Invariably, we keep returning to the you can leave now. And for those of you all who've never experienced this before, please make sure that you're saying it out loud. Financial stress, you can leave now. And check what happens immediately in the body. Check what happens in 2 seconds. Check what happens in 5 seconds and see how that makes you feel. The only healing modality in the world that works at lightning speed are the decrees.
People have written.
I want you to experience. Yeah, say, Ma.
They've written in actually, because you said no, keep a lookout. Within seconds, it's been coming in. In fact, Neha and Ria actually put in an SUD. Neha said 7, Ria said 10. Anju said feeling too much tingling in palms and hand. Rumi says burped. Neha says back tingling. Nikita says no reaction. Abhijit says yawning. Shobha says something shifted in my body. And Swati says she's feeling scratchy in her foot. Rita says she's yawning. Punita says stomach pain slightly. And this is Nina says yawning. Trishi says pain in the hair. Head, you mean? I think. And says, yeah, felt warmth inside the stomach. Daisy said, my mouth is trembling a bit. Yawning then felt lighter, says Devika. Priya says, tingling in my upper arm. Left side tingling. The responses are pouring in. And while you take care, just very quickly, whenever you have a moment, Alison has just reminded us, because I realized I forgot to ask you as well. Thank you. What was the answer of how Durga Ma is different, please?
We're coming there.
Okay.
I haven't forgotten. We're definitely coming there. Understanding of Durga Ma is so crucial, not just for the understanding of Navratri, but also how we're going to tap into her energies. We're going to be working with Durga Ma. She's going to be taking care of us. She's going to be seeing us through the work that we are going to do together for the next 1 month, starting next week. So for us to tap into some energy, you first want to know what that energy is. And there are these 2 distinctive attributes and characteristics of Durga Ma that are just, we'll come there. For anybody in pain right now, pain, you can leave now. And I'm just doing a 10-second clearing. Please close your eyes. Focus on the area of the pain. I also want you to make sure that you can sense the releases that are taking place. Close your eyes.
Nidhu, if you could just Nidhu, if you could just be a little louder, some requests are coming in. I can hear you, and I would recommend to everybody to please put your earphones on. And anyway, a little louder will help everyone. Thank you.
Is this better?
Yes, you're loud and clear for me. I would suggest everybody put earphones. It'll make it easier.
Fantastic. Restarting. Then seat, knees, hips, lower back, abdomen, belly button, middle back, upper back, front chest, shoulders, arms, wrists, neck, throat, face, jaw, forehead, back of the neck, back of the skull, top of the head, cleared and cleansed, cleared and cleansed, cleared and cleansed. Take your time. When you're ready, just shake out your hand, stamp your feet, have some water, and you should be good to go.
Nidhu, I feel superbly blessed. Even right now, when you were doing the decree, the dark had started. Every day this has been happening. When somebody's been doing a prayer or a chant, right when you're doing the decree, every day it's been happening, and it's I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can. I hope it's reaching you somehow energetically because it's amazing.
The dhak is the is the Bengali instrument that is played at pujo time, during the time, of prayers, of chants, etc. So it's a long drum, and it has a very distinctive sound. So that's what starts playing for her from where the puja is taking place in her area. Very auspicious. It scares away demons, it scares away Rakshasas, and it honors the presence of the goddess. So I trust everybody is doing fine. Neelu, can we have Durga Ma back?
Yes.
Okay, my darling, I'm going to give you all the answer. Yes, to some extent, you're getting it. Her calm persona, her powerful persona, she is, after all, the creator. And in fact, I must tell you this little bit from the Indian understanding of God. In the Trinity, which is Brahma, Vishnu, Shivji, and I didn't say G for the others. I'm so sorry. Brahma Ji, Vishnu Ji, Shivji. The creator, Brahma, is not worshipped. There's actually a curse on him. But in the feminine theology, in the feminine understanding of God and creation, Durga Ma is always worshipped. And that's a difference I didn't expect you all to know. But her position, therefore, is even higher of that of a masculine God. At the end of the day, of course, you need the divine masculine as well as the divine feminine. But the way that she is revered and the way that she can be worshipped makes her that much more accessible to us. And the two biggest differences, my darlings, one of y'all said this: 8 arms. In some understandings, 10 arms. In some understandings, 108 arms. And each of these arms carries a weapon. When you look at a god, and I'm saying masculine god or even a feminine god, they will invariably have one weapon. Durga Ma has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am going to include the lotus as a weapon because the lotus actually has to do with blossoming consciousness no matter what is going on around you. Basically, it's about being wake and woke. She has the maximum number of weapons than anybody else. Can you imagine her might? Can you imagine what she's capable of? Can you imagine her dominion, her supremacy? Can you imagine what she does when she comes into our lives? Because each of these weapons has a particular significance, and when required, she uses one or a combination of one. The other biggest difference between Durga Ma and other goddesses is that every time you see another goddess, except perhaps for Kalima, who's a warrior goddess, so you can sometimes see her standing with her weapon and her string of skulls around her. But Durga Ma always sits with one foot outstretched. Can you see that, my darlings? What does that mean? That one foot outstretched means I will jump to whatever is required of me next. I'm always ready to spring into action. I'm always ready to spring into action and use one of my weapons, one of my lotuses, one of my prayers, one of my snake. I am always ready to jump into action. And action, my darlings, is very often the missing key between our desires and the fulfillment of our desires, which, by the way, is also one of the characteristics of Durga Ma. She not only gives us protection, but she makes sure that everybody who turns to her gets their desires fulfilled. And so, Jai Mata Di, and please tell me, my darlings, what does action mean to you? What is action?
And while everybody responds to that, Nidhu, there were responses in to after you said the decree for the pain. In fact, Sushmita wrote in saying, pain is gone, chole gache. Just remember the Amrutanjan ad.
Bish, bish, bhalo korecho ma, bish.
And while you were saying it, there was the responses that had come in earlier was Ria said I was feeling giddy, and everybody heard the dark, awesome. And Sylvie said feeling sleepy, yawning, and by the way, Bharati's also mentioned that the conch or the shell shank is also kind of like a weapon because it's meant to awaken. So could be seen that way too.
Right. And Neelu, I'm just interrupting. Thank you,
Yes.
Bharati. All of these weapons have been given to her by a god. So like from Lord Ganpati, from Lord Vishnu, from Lord Varuna, the conscious from Lord Varuna, from Lord Agni, from Lord Indra, all the goddess has been supported, empowered, and has all the attributes of the gods. So once again, Jai Mata Di, Om Dam Durgai Namaha. And Neelu, you were saying, I'm so sorry I interrupted.
Not at all. And Jai Mata Di again. And you asked everybody what is action for you. So Preeti is written in manifestation. Daisy is written in taking steps to materialize desire. Says action means to move something. Rajeshwari says to take any steps towards a goal. Sushmita says taking charge. Chantal says doing. Nana says action is doing. Trishi says willingness to do. Jaya says action is conversation of intent to achievement with energy. Nishi says process of doing something that is done. Karina says following guidance. Shahana says stepping forward. Bharti says action is energy in motion. Yes, please. Geeta says action means working towards what you wish to have. Alice says action to act upon a thought. Shobha says action applies especially to the doing. Act to the result of doing. Preda says readiness, willingness to act. Dilly says manifest and receive. Rahat says to take steps forward towards your dream. Nishna says working on myself. Tejashi says action means doing something for a purpose. Sunita says it's moving forward, taking a step forward. This is the trend that is coming. Lata says taking a step forward again. Ujwala says action. We should be prepared to work, be willing for whatever we want or desire, even for our personal growth. Sunita says action means taking responsibility. Nina says action means taking your courses.
Thank you, my girl, and I'm so happy you're here. I hope it's a reasonable mortal hour for you where you are.
Daphne says intend to take steps to movement with focus following the guidance of Maa Durga. Amita says a calculated action. Willingness to change something, says Punita. Florence is written in saying that I've been okay. Hang on a second. Sirdi says action means taking the next step. Uh, yeah. Nina says in response to what you just said, I didn't want to miss it. Dolly says action means don't just think about it, do it. And no, we're not endorsing an ad right now.
I was just gonna say, actually Nike did, did get a hold of what that is, which is just do it. And most of y'all have understood this correctly. Stepping forward, next step, willingness to change, calculated action. The thing with action, my darlings, the one thing with action, we know it, but we don't know we know it. And that is, it's always physical. You've heard actions speak louder than words? Action is always to do with the body. If you are thinking it but not doing it, you have not taken action. And in fact, as we will see in the 11 actions that we must stop to start our money magnetism, one of the things is this overthinking, which is actually the illusion of action. Till it translates into the body, you have not owned up your commitment. Till it becomes physical, it is not going to show up in your reality. And physical could be anything. You could be chanting. You could be saying the decrees. You could be skipping 10 skips a day. You could be taking a set of stairs instead of the lift. Whatever the physicality of the action, all actions lead to money. Money loves action. Did I say loves? Loves action. You all know this, right? Everybody's heard this and maybe heard this on the Tele Summit as well. Money follows joy. The grounding truth is money follows action. But in joy, we take the maximum amount of action. Because in joy, our minds, our hearts, our souls, our bodies are fully aligned to the single minded purpose of taking the action. And therefore, joy brings us the maximum amount of money. But even if you're working in a job that you don't like, you will get money because you're taking action. You will always have some money or the other because there is one action you are always taking without taking it. What is that action?
Breathing?
Yes, you're always breathing. You're always active. So some amount of money will always flow to you, my darlings. Please know that. And that's also very important because there are a couple of things we want to do around money that requires for you to recognize this because you need to take money for granted, but we'll get there. The thing about action is that always, it will end at money. The thing with action at the same time is that all actions compound to a limited result, like brushing your teeth. Can you do it just once? We'd all love to, right? And every child knows this. Every child wishes that they could do that just once in their lives and never have to do it again. Like every mother has ran after their children saying, have you brushed your teeth? Have you brushed your teeth? Have you brushed your teeth?
I've had mine running after me, and now I run after mine.
Yeah, because there's the one thing where you have to get them to brush their teeth in the morning. Then there's the thing where they have to brush their teeth in the night.
In the night.
And action is like that, my darlings. Everything that you do will give you money. You go for a walk today, it will give you money. You've been going for a walk for 6 months. You need to either lengthen the walk, speeden the walk, or add something to the walk. It will bring you money. When you have actions that lead to joy, and I remember, I think I did this on last year's Money Tele Summit, like for women, going to the spa, going to the parlor, it will bring you money because it's action and there's joy as well. and there's calm as well, and there's relief as well. There is a light, white, bright, right vibration as well. So, will you all keep this in mind, my darlings? That if you take action, it will definitely show you results. It's Newton's third law. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. He was, of course, talking about two bodies opposing each other and therefore the opposite reaction. But the fact is that every action has an equal and resultant action. It's in fact karma, right? Cause and effect. In the understanding of our left brain and our right brain, left brain, which handles the right side of the body, is the giving, doing, action oriented part. And from the left, therefore, receive, get, have. You take care of this, this will be taken care of anyway. So, my darlings, what is the one action that you all are going to start today? What is the one new action that you're going to do today? On our 30-day program together, for the first 7 days, every day, we are going to do one new action. And this action could just be brushing your teeth twice a day, sleeping on the opposite side of the bed, changing furniture, bringing flowers home if you don't already do that. Whatever that action is, we're going to do it every second day because we will give it 24 hours to check if it has brought us money or a message of money, because it will. So whatever it is that you're doing in your day, you're going to add to that or shake up that routine a little bit. Like you have money angels. Money angels are people, companies who, when you give money to, you get twice or more times over. And all of us have money angels. In fact, they're invariably a couple in the family itself. Like that, we are going to find out our money action. Like I remember B had gone to the parlor and she was stunned. And this was just after last year's Tele Summit. She was stunned and she immediately sent me a message to say, "My God, it works!" And not only does it work, she got like $50,000, which is about 50,000 rupees, which is about $800. So within 24 hours, she got that money. I think it was, I almost said the name, but N went for a spa. When she showed up at the spa, once it was done, they didn't tell her before, but once it was done, she found out that there was actually a 50% off on the activity that she had picked up. She had picked up a detox massage, 50% off. So she immediately signed up for one more for herself. And she was so excited when she sent me that text. And she said, "Now I'm looking forward to receiving something else the next time I go to the spa." Check, my darlings. What is the thing about money? Awareness. Either money will come or the money message will come. In fact, right now on the call, I want you to be aware of these particular sets of awarenesses. Just keep this in mind. It's also posted on the Telegram group, but keep checking in with this because sometimes it doesn't cross your mind. I remember one of my favorite stories about money and awareness was I did this money work with A, and one day went by, and 2 days went by, and 3 days went by. And every day I was checking with her, what is like, is there money? Is there money? Is there a message? And she was like, nothing's happening. Money hasn't come. 7 days went by. And then it crossed my mind to ask her, which is why it's a word I now use everywhere. I said, wait, were there any unexpected monies that showed up? In 24 hours, she had gotten a tax refund of 4,000 rupees. But because she thought that the money would come in a particular way, she didn't think of the tax refund as the money. And so the money had already come. very often, my darlings, you will see that what you're looking for is right in front of you. And again, every mother knows this because every child has come to the mother and said, I can't find it, I can't find it, I can't find it. And the mother says, go and look on the third drawer in the left-hand cupboard on the side of the lamp and you'll find it over there. And they still won't find it. And then the mother comes in or the father comes in and says, here it is. Money is like that. Either money will come or a money message will come. It'll be there right in front of you. You've got to make sure that you see it, my darlings, because the money message will tell you what you're next. Okay, every time I ask you something on the call from now, the answer is always action. So the money message will tell you what?
Next action is.
What the next action is. The action is what will bring in the monies. And here, my darlings, I want to tell you, I want to tell you that there are a few actions that are very important for monies to flow towards us, for us to be money magnets. But before that, 11 actions that you have got to stop right away. And how are you going to stop them? With the goddess decrees. Because we have a goddess decree for clearing, and we have a goddess decree for manifestation. Number 11, the thing that we end up doing when we think money is expected from a certain place or a certain company, we start putting pressure on it. What happens, my darlings, when somebody applies pressure to you?
It builds up, the steam builds up, you're ready to burst.
Absolutely. The steam builds up. You know how angry it makes us when we are pressurized? For some of us who like to fulfill everybody's expectations, who like to give people what they want, guilt builds up, fear builds up. All of these are not money vibrations. Pressure can only give rise to more pressure. And guess what that does? What am I doing, my darlings? What am I doing? Pressurizing, pressurizing, pressurizing. I am closing a flow. That's what pressure does, right? I am stopping a flow. If there's anybody you are putting pressure on, including, have you sent this? Have you sent that? Have you finished this? Have you finished that? But you said that we would get the call today, but you said, back off immediately, my darlings. Take a look as to what stress is built up in you that you need to now throw it out on somebody else, that you now need to dump this on somebody else. How are we going to do this? How are we going to immediately stop? Of course, we're going to take the action, but what's going to make it easy for us to take the action?
The decree.
The decree. Okay, that's the other magic answer to everything I ask. So either it'll be action or it'll be a decree.
Or it'll be a yes.
Yeah. So, 3 words. Have water, everybody. Before we use the goddess clearing decree, I just want you to check what is the level of pressure in the body. How pressurized are you around money? Either to pressurize somebody else to give it to you, or somebody else is pressurizing you to give it to them. You know, it's when we show up at a restaurant very, very hungry, you know what happens? The order takes longer. Have you noticed?
Yes.
When we pressurize, because we are very, very hungry, because we are starving, because we just don't know how tomorrow is going to go if this money from here or this person does not come through, we end up getting more and more delayed. So, everybody, Neelu, tell me somebody for whom it's like an 8 or 9 or 10.
In fact, 8, 9, 10 have come. Nishna says both ways 8. Vibha says 8. Tejashi says both ways 9. Somebody's just put in a figure 10. I'm sorry, I'm unable to see your name. Rizwana says 8. Jaya says 8. Jaya says 10. Sahana says I was about to say 100 over 10.
Let's go with, yeah, I want that one. What is that Sana you said?
Shahana, yes. Shahana.
Sahana is at 100. And
Yeah.
by the way, thank you so much, my darlings, for everybody who's automatically giving me the numbers. I love how far you are on your healing journey. For those of y'all, the number is a scaling from 0 to 10, where 0 is not at all and 10 is very high. So Sahana at 100. Sahana, keeping an eye out for you. And here, my darlings, is the goddess decree. It's just 3 words. 3 words that need to get attached to the remaining sentence. But the 3 words are, ready? Are you ready? Okay, the 3 words are I know, N-O, longer. And I've got an interruption, my apologies.
For a moment, I thought it was my end, and I was wondering, I said,
No. After much pressurization, so which means that it took me 3 years, my society people convinced me to keep an intercom in the house. But I took 3 years. See what happens?
I know what they must have gone through.
Okay. I no longer need to be pressurized. Say it just once. I no longer need to be pressurized. Have a sip of water. Sahana,
Need to be pressurized.
what's coming up? Just give me a second, my darlings.
Vanita's yawned. Surbi says, what a relief already. Shana says, thanks, Nidhu. Nisha says, tummy pain. And waiting for the others to write in. So, okay, have to do the drum rolls because, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, something has been put out there for all of you, which is the goddess decree, never ever given out before, shared before. This is the first time ever, straight from Nidhu, and the 4 words are I no longer need.
3 words. I no longer, because you can.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I no longer.
I no longer. Basically, this is Durga Ma coming in and with her sword just slashing it off. I no longer. And there are other ways to use it. You don't have to say need, but I find that I no longer need is a fabulous way to do this. Sahana, you were at 100. How much is it now?
People waiting to hear from Shahana, and in the meantime, people are writing.
Tell me the number before and the number right now.
Okay, Shahana says she's at 60.
Fantastic. Shahana, have you ever come across something faster than this, from 100 to a 60 in what? 1 minute?
Less than a few seconds.
Less than a few seconds.
A lot of responses coming in. Nishi's written 7 to 2.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Tejashi says pressure increased to 10 on head and left shoulder. Jaya says 8 to 10 stressed.
It's gone up. All right, my darlings. Remember what I said about money messages? As long as there's a shift taking place, whether it's a shift this way or whether it's a shift this way, the energy is no longer stuck. So this is very good. It's gone up. Is it continuing to go up or is it beginning to come down? And just say it, yeah, just say it again, my love,
Yeah.
my darling. This time, just say, I no longer align with pressure. I no longer align with stress. Because somewhere there has been so much control over the stress that now that you're setting it free, it's showing up in how much there was actually, which means that there is some sort of comfort zone with the stress and the pressure. I no longer need the comfort zone of stress. I no longer need the comfort zone of pressure. Just try it, my darlings. Keep us posted. Nilu, let us go to point 10.
I also just want to quickly tell you that Vandana said heart chakra feeling cool 9 to 3, and Heidi went from an 8 to a 2. And Amrish is written in saying just the concept explanation of stopping pressurizing people to give return money is priceless.
Thank you. Thank you. My favorite one. At some point or the other, in some money call, in a non money call, in a health call, in an emotion call, I will bring this up. The stop cluttering, hoarding, piling is ways of occupying space. Remember what I said in the beginning? Either we can clear or we can work on manifesting. Whichever we start with, the other we will have to do. Even if we start with work on manifesting, as in I just want to be told, how many coconuts I have to break on my head in order to get the money, you will still come back to the clearing. And vice versa. The more clearing you do, the more you will be led to doing manifesting work. Cluttering, hoarding, piling are ways of being invisible. Like when you pile up stuff, right? Whatever is across cannot be seen, which means the energy now cannot flow. The energy now has to fragment. It has to go above, it has to go on the side, it has to go below. Hoarding and piling. And I'm not talking about the piles that sometimes take place, like in our house, clothes are ironed in the evening. So the clothes that are dried in the afternoon, when they're taken, they're piled up on the ironing board. So I'm not talking about that pile, which is a piling that is going to get cleared. I'm talking about that favorite chair everybody has, or the corner of the bed, and in some houses, even the sofa. You know how it's all getting piled up, piled up, piled up, piled up. Sometimes you can also end up piling up what you think you're going to throw out, right?
Right, right,
Right.
right.
So you start piling up stuff there. Pile,
I,
yeah.
I
Pile,
literally, Nidhu, just I turned to look because I actually cleared out 2 packets and I've kept them ready to give out, and they're one on top of the other. I, I just that's why I just turned that way. After this call, immediately out now.
yeah. Put it out of the house immediately
Yeah,
after
yeah.
the call. I remember the first time I said this to somebody, and by the way, cluttering, hoarding, piling also comes from very deep anxiety. And deep anxiety is a symptom of fear. Nilu, can you just please give us the scale of consciousness?
Yes. Give me a moment. And in the meantime, Nidhu, Vandana said, can you explain again about piling on the favorite sofa or chair? And I'll just bring up the other one.
Point is stop. If you pile it up, you are now becoming more invisible. Piling, hoarding, cluttering, these come from deep insecurity, the fear of loss, the fear of there not being enough, the fear of us not being enough. And if you look at it, fear is at the vibration of 100. Anxiety is even lesser than that. In, in anybody who's dealing with debt, I've always noticed a lot of cluttering, a lot of piling up, a lot of hoarding. And if not debt, then minimal money flows. Like the money is not flowing in leaps and bounds and streams and rivers and oceans. Like it comes, you live, you manage, you survive. So when you take a look at this chart, take a look, my darlings. At 310, we are in the space of willingness. Between 310 willingness and 350 acceptance, we will have, after acceptance, between acceptance and 400 reason, we'll have readiness. So Jupiter's decrees are really wonderful for anything that you want to manifest big in your life, which is, I am willing. You just have to say it 3 times in the day. You can say it in the morning, you can say it in the evening, you can say it at your altar, but just, I am willing. And Neelu, let us take us back to the cluttering and the hoarding and the piling. I no longer need to hoard. Just say that sentence, see how it makes you feel. I no longer need to clutter. I no longer need to pile up my stuff. And piling up physically gives rise to lots of blockages and problems and projects in the lower abdomen. Constipation is an act of piling up. IBS is an act of piling up. Period projects, acts of piling up. Because most period projects either give rise to PCOD, or they give rise to endometriosis, or they give rise to fibrosis. And what is that? It's a collection, right, of energy that has become so solid and that has become physical. So piling up stuff. Most people, when you take a look at the healing journey, it's very easy to fall into the spirituality, positivity, and forgiveness trap, where you don't realize that you're piling up the fear, you're piling up the worry, you're piling up the anger, you're piling up the hatred, because somewhere we all understood that it is better to be good and positive. At no point did that ever mean that we've got to ignore or overlook the negativity, but what ends up happening is that then that starts piling up. And when it starts piling up, the only way we get relief, like Neelu said, is in that explosion. When the pressure cooker just bursts, either we break down in overwhelm or we start fighting and shouting in anger. Although we also fight and shout in stress, especially when we feel threatened. So stop cluttering, hoarding, piling. Everybody, right hand up. I solemnly swear and promise.
I solemnly swear and promise
That I no longer need to clutter, hoard, or pile up. Action number 9 that you must stop immediately. All of these stoppings are taking place so that you can start the magnetism of money for yourself. And look at this particular sentence, my darlings. Stop disbelieving money. I'm not asking you for your belief systems around money. I am not asking you for your limiting beliefs. I am asking you, on a scale of 0 to 10, how much do you believe in money? What is your belief in money? I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to see the scale from 0 to 10. Can you see it clearly in your head? And there'll be a cursor or a pointer pointing at some number when you're seeing the scale in your mind. Clear? Scale is clear in the head. When we check a scale in the head, it's very difficult to lie. When we check a scale intuitively, we could fool ourselves because our thoughts come to us very similar to intuition. But when you see it, there is no duplicity. I want you to now keep your index finger up. Yeah. Now the index finger, as you see the scale in your mind, and let us stay, and I'm going to take a group average. On a group average, the amount of belief in money is 2.
Nidhu, I'll tell you the numbers that have come in.
Yeah, I'm also thinking.
Neha says 9, Samina says 10, Heidi says 7, Swati says 6, Daphne says 8, Lata says 5. Rupali says 6. Nilima says belief is 6.5. Dolly is 9. Bharti 7. Amanda 7. Naina 8. Sunita 5. Ria 9. Chantal 6. 6. 9. 6. 3.5 says Preeti. So Sushma says 8. Yeah. Swati Javeri says 3. Vandana says 3. Ujwala says 4. Surbhi says disbelief is 2.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That's okay. So disbelief is what I was saying as a 2 line. Okay. Okay.
Because everybody is given in their belief.
Yeah, I asked for the belief, but
Yes.
yeah, it felt incorrect. Like, so obviously I had marked my scale incorrectly, like I'd named my scale incorrectly. This is really good. My darlings, your belief in money will reflect in your money flows, in your cash flows, in your gift flows, in your compliment flows, in your unexpected opportunity flows. Is your belief in money reflecting this? And did you see it on the screen of your third eye? Belief in money. Where is the cursor pointing? Wherever it is, with your finger physically up, I just want you to start moving the cursor towards 10. Just go up a couple of digits. If you're already at a 10, super, take it beyond. If you're at an 8, take it to a 10. If you're at a 6, take it to an 8. And tell me what happens. Does it stay there? Does it bounce back?
It stays, but I can feel a bit of vibration.
A vibration. All right, my darlings, I no longer need to disbelieve in money. I no longer need to disbelieve money. I no longer need to disbelieve money. Just say it one time, check your score, see how you feel when you take it up to the higher number.
Will you repeat the decrees for everyone once again, Nidhu?
I no longer need to disbelieve in money. I no longer need to disbelieve money. And check your score.
And in fact, Rupali says stayed at 9. At 9, Alison said felt tension in the left back shoulder when held at 10. Beena says flowing further with lovely vibration. Punita says unable to reach 10. Sushma says stays better at 9. Nishi says 6 to 10. Trishi said it's going 11, 12. And Heidi says 7 to 12. Swati says 9 on 10. I'm not sure what that means. Alison says that was so cool. Finger moved while saying the decree.
Nice.
Okay, and Chaya says suddenly out of the blue, my daughter got me super hot jalebis, like really hot, like fresh.
Nice.
And Vandana says pain in the throat as cursor in 10. Nilima says was so easy to go to 10 this time. That means after the decree.
Good.
Naina says move to 10. Lishna says 10 to 12. D says burping like burpee lahiri. Dilly says 7 to 10 firmly. Jaswinder says moved to 9. Preeti says I no longer need disbelief in money.
Nice. Nice, my darling.
I love this. It's just going up.
If pain is showing up, just please ask it to leave. Pain you can leave now. If it's bearable, let it be. Because what the decrees do is as they start pulling it out, obviously because we have nerves everywhere, we will sense what's taking place. But it's just being pulled out. If it's bearable, you will see it will release in the next few seconds. If it's very deep, maybe a minute, but it will start lessening. And stop action number 8, which is A followed through with action number 9, which is stop distrusting money. You know how it is, right? When like stand-up comic Shrija Chaturvedi. So she was talking about, how it is between friends. And she was saying, she called me fat. I called her lesbo. Now we're best friends. You know, when you trust money, there's a comfort with money. When you trust money, there is a taking for granted of the money, which also comes from your belief in money. You take your parents for granted, right? You take your house for granted. You take your bed for granted. Take money for granted. But for that, you need belief and you need trust. You need to have a sense that, wow, I have so much and it's always constantly coming in. I don't even need to think about this too much. On a scale of 0 to 10, in the head, and check and let me see your finger up as well. How much do you trust money? And again, my darlings, everything you are saying right now must reflect in the reality of your lives. You must be able to see this for a fact in your money flows.
So Swati's written 10, Lata says 10, Trishi says 4, Monique says 2, Rupali says 1, Nana says 6, Samina says 5, Karina says 4, Nilima says 4, Alison 4, Sumedha 5, Heidi 8, and I'm sorry, I have to bring this up because I can see Alice. This is what Alice was doing. I have to show this. It was so cute. I got distracted looking at her. She was going.
So
she was finding her way around. She was going like this. I was like, no, that is just so adorable.
That is so that is adorable and wonderfully done, my love. Wonderfully done. The moment you involve the body, your vibration has now increased 100 times over. So there's a weightage of vibration to thought, feeling, behavior. Least is thought, but it has the most power because it's the engine driver. The engine driver doesn't need physical strength. It only needs to know where the controls are, which is what the mind always does, right? Always finds ways to control us, especially through the inner critic. More weightage of vibration to feeling. Maximum weightage of vibration is to the physicality. Make sure, my darlings, that you are being absolutely aware and fully honest with yourselves. Your belief in money, your trust in money must reflect in your flows. So you can't have 8 belief and 2 distrust and 4 money flows. Somewhere they will be in close proximity to each other. You also can't have 10 belief and 2 distrust. Sorry, and 8 distrust.
Right. Interestingly, Nidhu, Tejashree is written in trust 4, distrust 6.
Correct. Correct. Fine. Super. I no longer need to distrust money. Say it once, check your scale. And wherever you are, my darlings, see if you can take it 2 points. Sorry, this is for distrusting money. So take it 2 points lesser.
Lower.
Lower.
Vandana says, I don't distrust money at all. Daphne says, trust at 6.
Trust at 6. Or bring the trust up to 2 points to 8. But just do that. I no longer need to distrust money. Vandana, go ahead and say it anyway, Ma, and see if there's a reaction in the body.
Punita says distrust at 4. Punita, is that come down? I'm sorry if you put another number and I missed it. Nina says felt nauseous when she said it.
You can leave now. You can leave now. You can leave now. You can leave now. Nausea, you can leave now. So there is some fear around trusting money. And look at how we are, my darlings, because at the end of the day, we are also the same energy. Do we go where we are distrusted or do we go where we are trusted?
Trusted.
Where you are trusted. You got to trust the money. The exercise that I asked you all to do before the call, I want you to open the doors and say, monies, you can come in now. Monies, you are welcome here. We're going to do a similar version of that. Everybody's ready? Yes? So
yes.
Please pick up your phones as in this phone. So just pick up, this. Just pick up your phones and start dialing money. Some random, whatever number is coming to your mind, just press on your phone. Tring, tring. Money picks up the phone. Say hello, money.
Hello, money.
How are you doing?
How are you doing?
What is money saying back?
Money saying, I like the number you dialed for me.
What can I do to welcome you home? When are you
Sorry?
coming over? I miss you.
What can I do to welcome you more? Why don't you come over? I miss you. On my way.
Fantastic. I'd really like to see a little more of you.
I'd really like to see you a little more. Getting there soon.
Yeah, what is money saying?
Getting there soon.
Nice. See you soon, money. And if there's anything at all that you think I could do to make you happier about coming, let me know.
See you soon, money. And if there's anything else I could do to make you happier about coming, let me know. Halwa.
You got to make it. If there's an immediate message, my darlings, that's what you have to do. Or the message will get revealed on the call for sure. So, love you, money. See you soon.
Love you, money. See you soon. Once Nidhu lets me go off the call, I'm going to make the halwa.
Halwa is a sweet porridge for us in India. And it's delicious. It's delicious. All right, my darlings, please close your eyes. I want you to see yourself in the center of your house, facing the door. If there is a wall in the center of your house, stand next to it or in front of it. I want you to start becoming which part of your house is your left side, right side, front side, and back side. You are facing the door. Once you have aligned yourself and connected thus to your house, I want you to see all the rooms except the bathrooms, all the rooms on your left side, the ceiling parts, and money starts dropping in. Like it's just money just raining down inside your house. The money keeps raining in all the rooms on the left side except the bathrooms. I want you to check for the rooms in the right side. Lo behold, there is money dropping down from the ceilings, even gold coins. Money is in all denominations. Jewelry, keys to houses and cars, invitation cards, all just coming down from the ceiling like a deluge. Check the rooms in front of you. Wow, same things happening there, except in the bathrooms. Check the rooms behind you. How incredible. There is now money, cash, keys, gold, jewelry, bonds, assets just pouring down. It's like a thunderstorm of money flowing down. Enjoy it. It's falling on you as you go from room to room, opening the window. When you open the window, maybe the money will fly out, maybe it won't. If the money flies out, just see it circling around the whole house and coming through another window in even triple amounts. Open the windows See what's happening with the money flowing in or flowing out. Finally, open your front door. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, because there's such a pile of money and cash and notes and bundles in front of the door that you can't even see beyond that. See the money flowing in through the front door. If there is still money flowing out of the windows, see it circling around and coming back in through the front door. You are surrounded in this flows of monies. You can take money for granted. God's decree for manifestation. Think this, hear this. I find you. I find you moneyed. Money finds me. Money finds me easily. Cash finds me. Cash finds me easily. I find you gold. Gold finds me. Gold finds me easily. Take your time, enjoy your sense of wealth, and then whenever you're ready, come back, have tons and tons of water. Tell me how you're doing.
Nidhu, while everybody comes back, I was just so happy being on the call with Money. I forgot to look at the group. So giving you a quick quick take back from that. So Nina said, have to trust money more. Reena said, money is saying I am occupied somewhere else. And Swati said that money says, love me more. And Payal said that cramps in the stomach while inviting money on the phone. And Kamini is written saying, with money raining down, I can hear a bell ringing somewhere right now.
Nice. Nice. I'm so sorry, Payal, that this is giving rise to such distress in the body. So somewhere you got to take a look at what's going on with money. This will invariably have to do with a memory around having money. Maybe it was taken from you, maybe you were robbed, maybe you were cheated of money. And therefore, what the logical mind does is that in order to not go through that same trauma, it starts finding ways to avoid what it thinks caused it in the first place. You'd be amazed at how many of us actually have lots of blame for money. You didn't stay with me, you didn't come for me, you keep going to everybody else, you can leave now, you can leave now, you can leave now, you can leave now, you can leave now. Like the person who said that the money is occupied elsewhere. We are going to be doing a money communication series. It's great fun, my darlings, and I'm so looking forward to doing it on today's call, time permitting. Time permitting, actually, y'all permitting, if y'all will stay, we're going to be doing some more receiving of messages from money. Like, figure out exactly what's going on. It's also what we're going to be doing over the next 1 month, over 2 full moon calls. They are the full moon money communication series where we're just going to chat with money. We're just going to see what money has to say. We're just going to open up our connections to money and therefore money's connections to us. And to help us do that, we'll also have a 6-minute MP3. And the MP3 has the Goddess Decrees for Manifestations, which is 3 words. I find you. How did it make you feel to think that or hear that? I find you. Just think it, my darlings. For some of y'all, it may show up in your head. For some of y'all, in your stomach. Just see what that does to your system. I find you. I find you, Durga Ma. Durga Ma finds me. Durga Ma finds me easily.
Nidhu,
Yeah?
was it Kamini who said she heard bells ringing?
Yes, yes, she did.
Ringing also? Ringing also? Does everyone hear the bell ringing?
Quickly open the doors, my darlings. Open the
Yes.
doors and say, Monies, you can come in now. You can is a decree. You can come in now. Monies, you are welcome in now. And there it is. Goddess Shakti Super Flash Sale. I find you, Shakti. Shakti finds you. Shakti finds me. Shakti finds me easily. And I just love this cool thing we've done at the bottom. Like, yo, heal that money energy, right? I was like, yo.
Now. Feel it now. Nidhu, take us through it.
So, what we're going to be doing is spending time together for 30 days. We will begin our work on 28th, which is in the next 3 days. And we will begin with a decree of the day. We will use a goddess decree of the day that we will then repeat a number of times. Y'all are saying what's happening with us saying it one time. Imagine if we had to say it a number of times and we knew what that number was. From there, from starting off the day, they're not daily decrees, they're decrees on every second day because you will need about a day to adjust. And remember, we're also taking the new money action, right? We're also checking our money action. So we need about a 24-hour gap for us to process, shift, for our awareness to kick in and let us know what took place. But 30th Friday, Goddess Day, we will be doing our first full-fledged money series communication where we will chat with money, where we will hold a space for money, where we will see what it is that money has to say to us, where not only would we have gotten money messages, because my darlings, money is communicating with us all the time because energies are communicating with us all the time. From there on to the one thing that I have found that does interfere with money flows quite a bit are the presence of ill will, jealousies, negativities, curses, black magic, dark spells. So we will do a new moon call for that to be removed as well. And in fact, right now with me, please just say this, I no longer need to be attached to entities. I no longer need to be suppressed, repressed, oppressed, depressed about jealousy and ill will. Okay, that was very long. I no longer need to constantly be sent ill will. I no longer need to align with jealousies. I no longer need to align with entities. I no longer need to be under black, dark spells. See how that's making you feel? Can you immediately sense your space clearing up? Like I can see things leaving, stepping out. Entities, you need no longer be attached to us. Black spells, you need no longer hold sway power over us. How's that making you feel? Just tell me, my darlings. Neelu will either bring me up to date or I will catch up on the posts. Well, along with that, we're going to be listening to a daily MP3. It's just 6 minutes. You're supposed to listen to it at night. And listen to it as in hear it. And then if you want to play it on loop, you play it on loop. But you just have to hear it one time at night. And that's the work that we're going to be doing together, not to mention the amount of chatting that we're going to have on the Telegram group, where we're going to support and help each other. And by the way, my darlings, there's such a great sense of family when all of y'all show up. Some of y'all are already part of my existing home Telegram group, and it's just amazing. Like, I'm getting a little overwhelmed. It's just amazing how much you love and care and support each other. And it is my blessing that I can say with absolute certainty that everybody coming on for this group will get the same kind of support from everybody else, the same kind of love, the same kind of care. For those who are familiar with decrees, they always step in to help. And I have so many people that are always willing to share how it's been for them. So lots and lots of chatting, lots and lots of support, lots and lots of fun as we share what we have done, what's the action we've taken. Maybe you took an action that hasn't even crossed our minds. When you share it on the group, somebody else can take up that action as well. And maybe, who knows, at the end of 30 days, we would have a list of the actions that bring the maximum amounts of monies in. Like if 3 of us have done something like take a bath twice a day instead of once a day or thrice a day, and we found that that was giving us great results, my God, my darlings, you will have the money gospel. You will have the money commandments. 10 things to do, 10 actions to take in order to continuously keep getting money. How cool would that be? This entire package is about, I think, 37,000 rupees. So sorry, my darlings, I'm going to have a sip of water.
Nidhu, while you do that, while you take a sip of water, and there it is.
Yeah, it's about 37,000 rupees, because our calls are calls which will take on live healing demos. So in a way, you're going to be getting a personal session on the group call itself. This is a format I've been following for some months right now, and it is absolutely incredible, because what happens when you do that with a group is that even if you're not the one coming on for the live demo session, something in that live demo session will work for you as well. You will be able to borrow benefits, which is a technical term for the magic that takes place with group work. And also, because this has to do with money messages, even if it's somebody else who's speaking about that message, it could still apply to you. So come, be there. Right now, this entire package is only for 37,050 rupees, only for 581 USD dollars. But you know what? We'd like you to have it at another offer, which is only rupees 4,400 till the end of this call. It's 70 USD down from 581 and rupees 37,000. And it would be so much fun, my darlings, for me to meet you all and have you all on the calls and on the group with us. Come. Everybody's invited. Come.
This is absolutely amazing, Nidhu.
Thank you.
4,400 or USD 70. It does not get any better than this. 88% savings till the end of this call. And you have a fair amount of time because we still have a lot of actions to go through.
Oh, yes, that's right. My darlings, take your time. In fact, take your time. You have till the end of the call. Neelu, let's quickly get back to, I think we are at money action to be stopped, number 7.
Yes,
Okay.
just doing that.
How is everybody's trust and belief in money? What's your scale showing?
Nidhu, earlier when you had done the energy thing, the entity removal, the black magic, and you'd asked everybody to. Nishna said extremely light-hearted. Punita said I can feel energy rotating around my navel. Rupali said light-hearted. Barbara said feels calm. Daisy said lots of releases. Naina said light. Neha said I no longer need to be single. Florence said feel better, stronger. Freda says oh, and yes.
Neha, good use. That is exactly how you need to use the decree.
And the offers are already up, of course, on the group and on the Zoom chat. And we're getting continuous messages of done, done, paid.
Oh, yes, to that. And I hear my team, I want to thank all of y'all. It is amazing how y'all are so on point and so quick on the ball. Thank you, Amrish. Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you, Mesbah. Thank you, Ruchira. Really, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, stop Schadenfreude. For those of y'all who are from Europe, y'all will know this word. Do you know Schadenfreude? Stop Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude literally is the joy of seeing a celebrity fail. It's the joy of stripping somebody down. It is the joy of seeing somebody who you think is doing very well or is very happy. It's a form of sadism where you feel better when somebody else is miserable, unhappy, suffering, groveling. Schadenfreude comes from our own deep sense of inferiority. And money does not reward inferiority. Otherwise, every beggar in the world would be rich by now. That sense of inferiority, that sense of sadistic pleasures, where you know how it is, right? That tomorrow, if you had somebody that you looked up to, if you had a top notch celebrity, a top notch celebrity chef, a top notch celebrity entertainer, and there was gossip and scandal, you know, all of us enjoy it to quite some extent, right? It's if you continue to bathe in that enjoyment that you are looking at a hole in your conscience. And not a hole that will get filled with money, but a hole where other things start dropping out. With Schadenfreude, I have seen the maximum amount of money troubles. And when I say money troubles, I mean money comes in, doesn't stay. Money stops coming in, you start getting into debt. Where it's just difficult. Schadenfreude is also another word, like entities, for the negativities that are taking up space in our lives. And I'm not saying that you must now start becoming intensely positive and spiritual and start rejoicing in everybody's success. I'm saying manage it. You feel bad for that moment, you feel jealous for that moment, you feel better when they've suffered for that moment. Because we all have this animal part. We all have this primitive instinct where if somebody else had it, there wasn't enough for us. And therefore, if somebody else is not having it, somehow it eases something else enough. Okay, I'm not the only one suffering. Okay, I'm not the only one miserable. Okay, now there will be more for all of us. It's a very, very primitive, uncivilized instinct. So, by all means, when it comes up, but don't indulge it, don't have conversations around it. You know how we solicitously call up and say, you know what happened? You know what happened? Like gleeful. You know, my neighbor's daughter ran away with her gardener. Yeah, that deliciousness, that deliciousness when we see a celebrity fall or somebody who we think is really awesome and great, and they start having troubles in their lives and we get to know about them, that is Schadenfreude. So it also encompasses the jealousy of a rich person. If you've ever stood in front of somebody's house or read an item in the news and said, wow, they should give some to me, it is a form of Schadenfreude. That they have so much, I'm sure they can give me just 0.0000001% of that. I'll manage. That's a form of Schadenfreude, where you are disempowering yourself because you've handed over so much to the coming of money from outside, or there not being enough money outside. And by the way, money is minted on an almost daily basis. Do you all know this? Across the world, there's always fresh money being put into circulation. So anytime you have this sense that they have so much, they can give some to me, you have to stop it dead in its track. I no longer need to Schadenfreude. I no longer have Schadenfreude. I no longer possess Schadenfreude. I no longer need to enjoy Schadenfreude. I no longer enjoy Schadenfreude. I no longer want Schadenfreude. I find you rejoicing in the success, wealth, and health of everybody around you. Health and wealth finds you easily. Health and wealth finds me easily. Action number 6. And by the way, my darlings, we have the entire remaining day. If you will share a little more of your Sunday with me, and we will chat about all of these on the group as well. So right now, action number 6 to be stopped.
Nidhu, sorry, there's a quick question. I know someone in close family who does that. What can we say for them to not affect us?
I no longer need to be affected by Schadenfreude. I no longer need to be affected by jealousy. I no longer need to be affected by their ill will. I no longer need to be affected by their set of expectations for me. I no longer need to be affected by their judgments. I no longer need to judge. I no longer need to be judgmental. I no longer need to have judgments.
Right. And you have to hear this, Nidhu, because these messages are in for you. Jenny said, yes, done, as in she's picked up the package. She says, even if I miss the first hour of the call because of changing to winter time here in Sweden, I will look at the replay later, but I'm in now and got the flash sale. And there is somebody Monique has written in saying, yes, action taken, paid. I'm very grateful that enough money was in my account to be able to join, and may all who want to join be able to pay it too.
What if that happens? Y'all are experts at creating, generating, making, having, keeping, sharing that money easily. What if you have more than enough money for this program, for any other program, for all the programs that you want to do?
And Priya's written in through that to what Monique said, and said, I also told myself that I have enough monies and more is coming, so take the call.
Well done, my love. Well done. You know, we're going to look at a set of preparatory actions, and these are preparations to take action, because taking action is not everybody's cup of tea. Most of us would love to sit around, have a drink, intellectualize, philosophize. Getting down to the nitty gritty, getting down to the physicality of it all, a lot of us can shy away from this. So we have a set of preparatory actions to take And by the way, one of those preparatory actions is to take this package. So thank you, Monique.
And everyone's taking action, okay, Nidhu, and they're all writing in. In fact, Trishy's even written in saying, finally took action to change my money reality, gratitude.
Why not?
Lots of messages pouring in, and I know you'll catch up on all of them.
I
Uh,
would. I
just
would.
everybody know, yeah.
No longer need to keep repeating the story of lack. I no longer need to keep repeating the story of scarcity. I no longer need to be in famine. I no longer need to live in drought. I no longer lack. I no longer have scarcity. I no longer have poverty consciousness. I no longer operate from my old, limited money stories and judgments. I find you richer. More riches find you now. More riches find you easily now. Oh, this one. My darlings, I know how beautiful and wonderful and radiant and just stunning, amazing people y'all are. I know that most of y'all are very sensitive, very kind, very gentle, very generous. And then when people ask for money, you feel bad if you can't give it, or you make an impulsive choice to give it. Give. Remember, giving, doing, taking action will give rise to having, keeping, getting, receiving. Give, but don't do it if you're expecting it back. If you are going to lend somebody money and in your head it's just a matter of, I'm going to get it back anyway, you are not getting it back. And you don't have to listen to me for that, my darlings. You just have to look at your lives. Everybody that you're expecting money back from, is it coming? Is it coming? Is it happening? So give money. But when you give it as a donation towards your karmic credit. You give it as a indication of your desire to be of service and help. You don't give it if you're expecting it back. In fact, the moment you're expecting it back, you have to stop saying yes, as in to giving it to them. Very gently say, I'm so sorry, this is not possible for me at this point. There is no karmic debt for saying no when you understand that you are not in the correct frame of mind or budget to give out monies. And action number 5 that you have to stop. By the way, my darlings, even if you forget all of these, because there are 11 of them, the top 3 you have to keep in mind. They are the most crucial. Oh, this one. Stop encouraging your or others' wrongness. Again, because it takes up a lot of bandwidth, energy, time, and space, where everything becomes about what is not okay with your life, what is not okay with somebody else's life. Little bit of Schadenfreude for ourselves over here, where even though we are getting messages of money, even though our life is good, even though we are managing just fine, the tendency to be focusing on the negative shows up when we are encouraging our own wrongness or anybody else's wrongness, where there is the inner critic that is out of control. See, the inner critic does not like us to be happy. It does not want us to be happy. So when we are fixated on this wrongness, badness, smallness, darkness of us or somebody else, that is the inner critic having a Schadenfreude party in our heads. Schadenfreude does not get us money. And neither does this, because what will happen in this focus on the wrongness, when the money message comes, you will not hear it, because you're so focused on the wrongness, you are not looking at the right action. Even when money comes, there will be very little gratitude for it. When money comes, very little acknowledgement of it. When money comes, very little belief and trust in it. All of these are ways to stop being money magnets. So this one, especially other people's financial wrongness, where you can make somebody who's rich wrong. You know, rich people are cheaters. Rich people never get it through just hard work and ethics. Rich people have it easier. Rich people are stingy, because if they want, they would give me some. So whatever it is that's going on around rich people, and that has become a wrongness, that is you telling you not to have the money, because then it just adds to your wrongness. Because the mind functions really logically around this. So even though your focus is on the wrongness, where you are trying to make it right, the deep down desire is that you stay in the wrongness, because then at least you're right about something. Right? It's the only thing we all love, right? The biggest power the mind has is when it can say, you are right. It's one of the highest compliments you can get as well. You are right. Makes us feel so good. So when our wrongness has become the rightness, or another person's wrongness has become their rightness, we will ignore and overlook everything that is coming in the way of the right monies, the right way of getting monies, and the right money messages. Because the wrongness has become the rightness. And then the rightness has become the wrongness. So this one, to stop encouraging, and I'm saying stop encouraging because we encourage this. We entertain the inner critic. Ever did that? I remember I was talking to a friend of mine, and my friend was talking about how he was thinking about moving away from this particular group, because apparently every time somebody was not there in the group, the others would talk about them, basically behind their back. And he said, I don't like this at all, because that means that when I'm not there, they're doing this behind my back. This is what encouraging is of the wrongness, where you don't encourage your inner critic. You know how actually we don't encourage the inner critic, we just bow down completely to the inner critic and let it run rampant across all our choices and decisions. Don't encourage that. The two things that an inner critic cannot face up to is, number one, says who, and is this true? Nobody will give me money. Not true. Says who? Everybody will give me money. Also not true. Says who? Is this true? So says who and is this true are the two ways that you can make sure that the inner critic is arrested in its tracks. And stop action number 4.
And while I just get the slide on, this is just a very quick reminder for everybody. Anybody paying via Google Pay or Paytm, please make sure to send your details with the screenshot, full name, email, mobile number. Please make sure to WhatsApp it to Amrish. All right, just quick reminder there. Nidhu.
Thank you, my darlings. For the last, I think I've been doing this for 5 years now. So for 5 years, a few times in the year, I find that I have to remind everybody about this. Stop expecting maths from buffaloes. This is actually to do also with the next three stops that are coming up. But expecting maths from buffaloes is a way of being completely sidelined from your focused goal. When I say stop expecting maths from buffaloes, when we expect maths from buffaloes, there is one person or two people or many more people in our lives that we are over explaining to in the hope that they'll understand. Usually they are a few of our family members, because the one prayer that we all have is that our family also do this work, that our family also understand this, that along with me healing, my family also heals. But invariably you will have this resistance. Then you'll try and break it down. Oh, but it's so good. Oh, but you should try. Look, people are making money. And it doesn't work. Then you get upset with the buffalo. Then you withdraw from the buffalo, because now you have to punish the buffalo. Then 2 weeks later, you try again with the buffalo. Do you know this person in your life?
Yes,
We all do.
we all do.
What a waste of time and energy.
Correct.
If instead
Agree.
he said, I no longer need to expect mats from buffaloes. And you know, a lot of energy gets expended in these training courses with buffaloes, because what happens is, one, you've spent so much time explaining, over explaining, then you spend so much time being upset and hurt, then you spend so much time withdrawing from them in order to punish them, then you go back to spending that much time to explain again. Oh my God, it is exhausting. And let me tell you, when money does not come, my darlings, it doesn't come when we are exhausted. Money loves action. Exhaustion is a state of not being able to take action. So I no longer need to keep expecting mats from buffaloes. And I also no longer need to be a buffalo when somebody is expecting mats. Because, you know, we'll also be doing this in somebody's life.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Action number 3. This is where you want to take your notes. This is where you want to make sure that you remember this always. Stop the overkill. You know what the overkill is? And I would love to ask you, and I want to hear what you have to say, but I do know that we are a little short on time. But the overkill is the over whatever, overdoing, overthinking, over analyzing, over dissecting. You know what happens when we dissect something? Anybody who did science in school in class 10, we were given these cute white mice and frogs. You know what happens when we dissect, right?
Yeah.
That, and it dies. The overkill is when you actually end up destroying your very goal.
Right.
The program, not program, the process junkie. I'll do this also, and 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 I'll do this also. And then I will let my inner critic have a field day, because on the 4th day, I couldn't do all 44 things. The overkill is the actual killing of what it is you set out to do, where then it doesn't become about keeping your eye on the goal, it becomes about fulfilling your to-do list, where now everything has become left brain oriented. The brain always needs to be backed up by the physicality, but you can overdo, my darlings, because you can overwork, and you can overwork out, and you can over discipline, and you can over control. So everywhere that you are doing that right now, stop. And by the way, stop is the power word. So even you're looking at this right now will make it happen. I no longer need to overkill. I no longer need to overthink. I no longer need to overanalyze. I no longer need to overdo. I remember this person who was who was waiting for about $100,000 to be returned from this particular person. The only thing that he wanted to talk to me about was, so what do you think he's thinking? So what do you think he's doing? So what do you think is going on with him? Where you can become over possessive, over compulsive, over something that has nothing to do with the money actually. Anything that's an over is an overkill. And when you overkill, my darling, it's a kind of self-sabotage for healing. In an overkill, you again return to the focus on the negative. on the wrongness, because clearly something's terribly wrong, right? So maybe if I do this, it will now be correct. Maybe if I do that, it will now be righted. Maybe if I do this, it will finally be repaired. Maybe if I do this, it will finally get fixed. Give me 2 months.
Yes, just a moment. I'm sorry. The slide jump. Just give me a moment.
Sure. I'll tell you what it is anyway. It is the stop avoiding, ignoring, neglecting.
There.
Avoiding, ignoring, neglecting takes us back to point number 11. Point number 10, clutter. Whatever we avoid, whatever we ignore, whatever we neglect piles up. And whether this is our negative emotions, whether it's money messages, whether it's body messages, whether it's not taking that watch for repair because you'll do it when you have 20 other things to do, because then it'll be more efficient, whether it's not putting that painting up. All of us right now have something that we are avoiding, ignoring, and neglecting. You take care of that, my darlings, and you will tell me and everybody on the group how in 24 hours money showed up. The very thing that you are trying to hide and keep away or leave for another time, that's the very thing that will open the flow. Stop avoiding, ignoring, neglecting. I no longer need to avoid, ignore, or neglect any messages. I no longer need to avoid, ignore, neglect anybody. I no longer need to avoid, ignore, neglect my daily chores. I no longer need to avoid, ignore, neglect what I know I could be doing. Should, not a good word, could be doing. I no longer need to avoid, ignore, or neglect tasks I don't enjoy. I no longer need to avoid, ignore, neglect what I don't feel like doing. Today I'm not in the mood. Don't have to be in the mood. Just do it. And remember, my darlings, everything we're avoiding, ignoring, neglecting will require some amount of physicality. Because it's not like you're avoiding, ignoring, neglecting something in your head. Because that is always on, right? It's always lit and legit, whatever is going on with our thoughts. So some physical action over here is being avoided, ignored, and neglected. What is it? And can you please make a note of it and make sure that you start doing it today, or when you're in the group, start doing it in the group, because then you'll have group support as well. And number one action you have got to stop, my darlings. It's the toughest to stop, but you've got to stop waiting. What we wait for, we hand over power to. What we wait for, we hand over power to. What we wait for, we hand over power to. What we hand over power to, we make God in our lives. What we hand over power to, we make God in our lives. What we hand over power to, we make God in our lives. And this is not allowed. If your relationship is very distant from God, you will find something or someone to make God. Because all of us need the presence and sense of a higher ideal, a higher intelligence, a higher power. But every time you do that, every time the distance between you and God, and by God I mean universe, I mean Durga Ma, I mean presence, I mean source, I mean spirit, whatever is the word you're comfortable with. Every time your distance with that happens and you start making other people or things God, life will give you constant reminders, reasons, and situations to start realizing not to do that. If you are waiting, you have made that person or that thing God in your life. It is not going to happen. And in any case, my darlings, you check and tell me. Every time you have waited for it to show up, did it show up? Or are we now exhibiting that classic definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results? How has waiting worked for you? Has it worked for you?
So Panita's written in saying, this is profound, so difficult to do.
Very difficult to do. Absolutely, my darlings. Which is why you need to be in a group, which is why you need to have like minded people on a like minded goal. All of y'all holding hands together, all of us holding hands together, headed in the same direction. Oh, wow. What can stop us together, together, together? The thing that makes us stop waiting is a trust in the money, belief in the money, and our knowing. The only time that money shows up is when it is unexpected, forgotten, out of the blue, sudden, surprising, shocking. You must keep this in mind for all money manifestation work. The money does not come when you wait for it. I told you I would give you 4 secrets, but before I give you those 4 secrets, my darlings, let's just say this incredible and probably the most powerful statement for today. I no longer need to keep waiting. Just say it, tell me what happens. I no longer need to keep waiting and waiting and waiting. I no longer need to keep waiting. Including for lunch, because I promise I'm going to set you all free pretty soon.
I no longer need to wait for lunch. That makes me feel very happy. But before jokes aside, it feels a little overwhelming, Nidhu.
Yeah, let it come. What is that overwhelm? That overwhelm is you getting out of your own way. The way that we get into our own way is by how we process the process. No, remember, how will it come? When will it come? From whom will it come? Why hasn't it come yet? All of those are ways we get in our own way. So when I am moving us out of the way, I am making space for our knowing. And knowing is scary. Knowing is so frightening. To trust our knowing, because your knowing isn't something that talks to you like your mind does. Your knowing isn't something you can touch and feel. Your knowing is about your trust and faith and belief. So, this, where you will stop waiting, but at the same time, let me give you this particular exercise.
Nidhu, just very
Sorry.
quickly, before you do that, just because people have written in, yawning for Punita, feeling light for Surbi. Bharti says, very profound, giving power to someone else is making them God. Ugh, not doing that again. Bina says, oh my God, it's like in the movie, like a dull smoke screen lifting. Nishifa says, feel empowered. And Shruti says, I no longer need to keep waiting. When I said this, the next statement that came to me was, I can do it now. And I heard a bird chirping on my balcony. And
Very good.
smiled headache at 2 and going and yawns.
Fantastic, my darlings. And listening to the message, immediately recognize a bird chirping. It's a good sign. A bell ringing. It's a good sign. Superb, superb, my darling, superb. I also want to say that empowered is a goddess power word. So a power word works a little differently from a decree. A power word is a word that has gotten into power and has the power because of many, many centuries of usage. And just like that, you have magic words as well, where many centuries of magic have empowered that particular word. And the goddess word is empowered. So, my darlings, open your palms, close your eyes. You're receiving empowered. Your money flows empowered. Your knowing empowered. Your trust, faith, belief in yourself empowered. You are experts at being empowered. What if you are empowered right away? Empowerment for all of us. You can increase now. Empowerment, you can increase in us now. I no longer need to be powerless. I no longer need to be afraid of being in my own power. I no longer need to be afraid of power. I no longer need to keep waiting. And close your eyes again, my darlings, if you open them. I want you to think, if you are waiting for monies to come or news of monies to come, I want you to get a sense of where it is in the path that you see in your mind's eye. Like, is it at the distance, at a horizon? Is it close by? Is it really close to your eyes? Is it like coming into your body? I want you to get a sense of this timeline for yourself. And you will see it very clearly. You will either sense the energy coming towards you, or you'll sense the energy standing in one place, or you'll see money coming towards you, or the money standing in one particular place. You will have an idea of the timelines that you require. In the distance literally means in the distance. Close by literally means close by. When things are close by, you have to forget about the waiting. You have to forget about it coming. How do you forget about it? Well, number one, be on the group. We have at least 500 chats every day that will distract you thoroughly. Do the decrees of the day, listen to the MP3 in the night, and actually distract yourselves, my darlings. Hang out with a buddy, chat with a buddy. You know, in the communication series that we're going to be doing the communication series between two people. So you will also be able to continue your conversation with that particular person, because that's what communication is, right? Communication requires two people, correct? So on the group calls, we will do that with two people. And I'm not sure that I have the right to ask you all to stay a little longer, because I wanted to do a demo of this communication series with two people. A little bit of a glimpse you've already gotten in the phone call that we made. And by the way, my darlings, money messages come through more clearly when you are in a group. Like on your own, when you make that phone call, maybe you'll get an answer, but it's very possible that you may not. The presence of everybody is what energizes our intention and empowers our actions. So lots and lots of water. Neelu, will you give me the 5 secrets to being a money manifestor, please?
Yes.
It's a kind of summation of what we've done.
Sorry, just a moment. That just went off.
Mercury has been very good to us. No complaints.
There you go.
And I'm going to tell you this starting from number 4. Number 4, people do not give you money, the universe does. At the end of the day, your conversation and communication has to be directly with the money, with the universe itself. So this is not about making a phone call to somebody and saying, why are you taking so long? Or why haven't you let me made this happen yet? You're the one who's delaying this whole thing. The conversation that takes place between us and money is based on this principle. People do not give you money, the universe does. You do not give people money, the universe does through you. So when you have a sense of giving money or receiving money, you will have a higher purpose, a higher sense of receiving or a higher sense of giving, because you will see yourself not as a limited person with just this much money to give and only this much money to get. You will see yourself as part of the dynamic, eternal, timeless flow. Number 3, wealth follows health. When we are unwell, when we have a headache, when we are in pain, when we are grieving, these are not times to be expecting monies to come through. When we have ill health, it is better to work on the ill health that will automatically get you wealth. Money loves action. Loves action. Have I said love? You remember the secrets of taking action? And Neelu, we'll just post that in the group once we're done. I don't think we posted it here, but there is this understanding of what action is. And action, as we now know, is ruled by Durga Ma. So always some amount of surrender to Durga Ma. She's goddess of action. She's goddess of creation. She is the creator. So some inclusion of Durga Ma in our lives also helps us take a lot of action. Like you all have taken action today, right? You've come on the call, you've stayed on the call, you made your rich water, you opened your door, you wore your favorite perfume. Something has to happen for you. This is my guarantee. Something will show up for you. Please keep us posted.
Nidhu,
Yes?
there is a post that has come in.
Yeah.
Is Daphne writing in, I no longer need to keep waiting, Jai Durga Ma. She checked her PayPal account and received an unexpected inflow of, unexpectedly received $96 in my cash account and PayPal. And her delays with receiving credit and debit cards have been resolved by the bank.
Fantastic. Fantastic. My darlings, even though it is a Sunday for most of us, check your bank account. Check your text messages. See if you've been offered gifts and discounts and savings. Keep your eyes open and always remember, my darlings, the unexpectedness, the suddenness, the out of the blueness of money manifestation. Actually, almost for every manifestation, but especially for money manifestation. Because the way that we think it, the way that we are waiting for it, the way that we have planned it cannot happen. Because if something like that were to start happening, we would ignore the presence of a higher power, a higher intelligence, and a higher love. Remember, my darlings, that is not allowed. At any given point, especially in a moment of crisis, the only thing that you have to do is remember the presence of God. And I have also seen that a lot of crises can start taking place when we've forgotten that presence. So money manifestation is actually a message from God saying you are on the right track, you are doing the right thing, carry on.
Nidhu?
Yeah.
So Swati is written in saying, Nidhu, waiting to use the color pens and papers.
Absolutely. You know, my darlings, for this we must stay. All right. Thank you so much, Swati. Thank you.
Oh, and dustbin also. Full reminder in.
Dustbin gets used because of what we're going to do with it. And my thing for coloring is, although I've gotten my felt pens and I've gotten my color pencils, but my thing with coloring is always crayons. In the meantime, Neelu, can we put up the other slide for our work, which is the prep action slide?
Give me a moment for that, please.
So taking action, right? Taking action has to do with the body, but what's going on in the body itself? There may be blocks to taking action itself, correct? On top of your sheet of paper, and make sure your paper is like this and you're not using it vertically. Don't use it like this. Use it like this. Just write on top, blocks to money. You can write it with any color. Like I'm going to do one for the group. So I've written, just write blocks to money. And now take whatever colors you want. And while imagining yourself as here, so see yourself standing here, head, face, shoulder, arms, torso, legs. Imagine, visualize it, and take any color. Like I've gotten this color, and I want to do it here. So somewhere something's going on in our bellies. More love is required in our bellies. Then I feel like taking up another one. Once you start doing it, it's very difficult to stop till the energy itself stops. And look, the color of faith. So somewhere we are not having enough faith. Oh, wow. Once you've done it like this, with you being visualized in front, you're going to turn the page and visualize your back and do it there as well. Okay. So I'm doing it for the group. Don't put up the picture on the group, whatever you do. As soon as you have done that, you will tear it up and throw it into the dustbin. Use whatever color, whatever coloring material you want. Don't think it. Let the body take the action. And what I've also gotten is a great wounding of the heart chakra. So there are lots of betrayals. Perhaps we've been cheated of monies. That's showing up very strongly. Moment you have finished it, and by the way, tear it up, yeah? Tear it up completely. Put it into that dustbin. Nilu, another bell just took place.
Sorry? I was trying to get the screen up.
Yeah. Oh, there you are. There you are. Moment you've done one page, my darlings, you will do the next one, the same thing again. Blocks to monies. The reason why we are doing this, and this is a prep for what we're going to be doing on our call, and I will take you through that as well. So blocks to receiving more monies. And something is also going on in our sacral area, because this time I'm being so drawn to the color orange.
Okay, Nidhu, do we need to write the blocks also, and do we blocks on the back side also?
Not at all. No writing of the blocks. If you're having a sense of the block, it's getting cleared as you're drawing, as you are coloring.
Okay, and can small pages be used?
Yes, as long as you can see yourself comfortably there. So this time,
okay.
In my second.
Florence is saying can't see pic. I'm not sure which picture she's referring to. The prep is up here. It's on the group as well.
Which I will just quickly run.
It is on her table right now. None of us can see it.
Yeah, and the picture of the drawings that you're doing, that is not to be shared at all, because they're all meant to be torn.
Okay.
If you've done it at least twice or thrice, It's great, you know, the energy starts flowing through your arm. It's like another force takes over.
Daphne, I couldn't see what Nidhu wrote on top of the page. Nidhu, Daphne, there is no writing that's happening. Nidhu's only saying it and doing it.
No, you will write the heading on top of the page. Otherwise, the force won't come into the arm. So what I've written on top is blocks to monies. You can write blocks to monies. You can write blocks to receiving more monies. You can write blocks to large amounts of monies. You can write money blockages, but give it a heading.
Okay. And can they use black as well?
Absolutely, any color.
Any color.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any color, any coloring material, you can mix and match coloring material. Like for the third time that I want to do it, I feel like putting in some color pencils as well.
So you are saying she has a sensation in her arms, trembling in her palms. And a quick reminder, thank you team for putting that into the group as well. Please do not post your drawings either here on the group or show them on the screen. They're only meant for you.
Don't, my darlings, yeah.
Throw it in the dustbin.
Everybody is very sensitive, my darlings. They will start absorbing your blocks.
Sonal's asking, what do we write at the back? At the back, nothing needs to be written, correct?
Nothing needs to be written.
Nothing on the back. Yeah, and in fact, you're supposed to be tearing it up and throwing it anywhere. Please don't keep it either.
And I asked for the dustbin so that you can tear and throw it there. Don't keep it around, my darlings. You put it in the dustbin and either put it in your garbage bag, or if you want to burn it, you burn it.
Manika is asking, I wrote the heading, are we drawing anything?
Okay, you know what? Let me just do this again. You are not drawing. So you write on top, blocks to receiving monies. I'm writing TS group because I'm doing it for the group. But you just write on top, blocks to receiving monies. Visualize that this is you over here. So get a sense of your body over here. Get a sense of your back at the back. And then just start using whatever color. Take any color you want in your hand, place it over the drawing paper. You will be guided to put it somewhere. Just put it over there. And I'm delighted with the quality of these felt pens and these color pencils. I picked up a Camlin and a Camel. So nice.
Back to school.
And when you could be making a pinpoint, you could be making a wave, you could be just drawing lines, you could be making a net. It doesn't matter. You let the arm have free flow.
And you're not pre-deciding what you're doing.
Yeah. No pre-deciding. Once you get comfortable with this over the next few days, because it's great fun to do it, you're going to do it with your non-dominant hand. Oh, we're back to trust and faith, not having the trust, not having the faith.
And Nidhu, there are queries coming in for what has to be written as heading on the third sheet.
Same, blocks to receiving. You see what starts happening, which is what I want you to notice. Either the colors will start changing or the amount that you are scribbling is becoming lesser. Meaning with every write and tear, you are actually diminishing this particular block in the body. Now, if you've done it 3 times, please close your eyes. And I want you to visualize the paper you did it on. And on that paper, in your mind's eye, I want you to see blocks to receiving 100,000 in your currency. The colors will automatically start appearing. The scribbles will automatically start happening. once you see that in the page, I want you to turn the page in your mind's eye and see this happening at the back as well. And then in your mind's eye, you're going to tear out that page, tear it into pieces, and physically from this dimension, wherever you're seeing it in your head, in your throat, in your stomach, I want you to see it come out of the body, go out of the window towards the burning sun, and be dropped in it. Super. Super. And I needed you all to do this, and you can have fun with this on your own, because on the calls itself, we would be running through this in our mind's eyes. Because our calls are on instant teleseminar. So we'll, if the energy of the group is such that we will actually do the drawing again, we'll do it again. But otherwise, in our mind, for sure. It's like part of the prep work for the call. Check how you're doing, my darlings, and let's take another look at the prep for the actions. So number 5.
Nidhu, sorry.
Without
Dolly says, Sunny started sneezing. Pooja says, I'm having heaviness in my head, Nidhu. Niduma. And Priya Mittal saying, slightly breathless. Why would that be?
Because these are physically releasing. You see, you have put down on the paper the things that you could not articulate, because we will never be able to fully articulate. In fact, there are 2 kinds of healings. There is the verbal healing and the non-verbal healing, and both are required in healing, where you just take action. In a way, we took mindless action right now. So I didn't say, listen, light your candle, put your flower in front, do your prayer right now. We went through mindless action. And this is also very important, my darlings, because everything we will not be able to always articulate and express in our lives. So this support of non-verbal healing is part of our having fun and taking action that's easy. Like, I don't think there's anybody who doesn't like to play with colors and put it down, like, and especially if you have a new drawing book. Like, that's one of my regular purchases. I keep picking up drawing books. I'm no artist. This is the mindless stuff that I sit and I do. And by the way, I completely missed out on this. Okay, that's where Mercury is showing up. But part of your package is also that you get to ask me for one particular prayer or one particular clearing, which will be done remotely. All clearings take place at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays. So 6 p.m. IST. And whatever it is that you want, maybe you want me to do the drawing, maybe you want me to do the mindless unverbal healing, maybe you would like me to do a clearing for you, maybe you would like me to do a prayer for you, but you get to ask me one till 28th of November, which is when this package will close and the next one will come. So for the month that we are together, you will be given a scheduling link. And on that scheduling link, you can let me know what your preference is and what it is that you would like worked on. And obviously, the prayers will be done with Durga Ma prayers. So take full use of that. All right, my darling. So 5 prep acts. The reason why number 1, which is number 5, is commit, is because commitment leads to action. Commitment comes from desire. Desire is always looking for the physicality. Desire is what gets us out of bed. Commitment is what keeps us out. So Commitment. Yes, I am willing. Yes, I am willing. I no longer need to be afraid of change. I no longer need to be afraid of newness. I no longer need to be afraid to let go of the past. I no longer need to be afraid to let go. I no longer need to be afraid to transform. I no longer need to be hesitant about my future. When you have commitment, you invariably live with compassion for the past, presence in the present moment, and excitement for the future. This is what we want. Think clearly, feel strongly, act decisively. Communicate lots. Because remember, my darling, what was the fifth point? It's all about the communication between you and the universe. The other person in between who's actually giving you the money or you actually giving the money, that's incidental. That's just our joy and pleasure that we have somebody in a human form or in a company form giving it to us. Keep returning to light, white, bright frequencies because the frequency of manifestation is always a lightness. In heaviness, you cannot manifest. In heaviness, you must only pay attention to the heaviness. Remember what I said about manifesting and clearing, that we will be asked to do both, whatever it is that we start from. When we are doing manifesting work and we come across feeling heavy and feeling bad and feeling small and feeling wrong, you have to focus on that. And when we are doing that work, you will have moments of light, white, bright, rightness, and you will see that around that moment is the time the money is showing up. And pick up the package, my darlings. Your flash offer is still on, but just for another few more minutes. Come and believe in money, life, your body, you, and your selfie. So these are what we need in place before we might take that action. The communication series that happens between two people, for those of y'all who have experienced communication series with me, it'll happen exactly like that, except that we will be talking to money. We will get messages from monies, we will get insights from monies, we will get hidden aspects of monies, like things that just didn't cross our mind, like at the Mystic Lotus, Amrish, Neelu, and I were just playing around with this, just to see what kind of messages come up and what shows up. And some incredible stuff came up. Some eye-opening stuff came up. So I'm looking forward to that taking place for you all as well.
Yes to that.
Yes to that. And with that, we come to the end of our call. I'm still actually so excited about the communication series, but you know what? We'll do it on Friday and you'll get a taste of it.
Nidhu, in fact, just very quickly, because you just mentioned that you, Amrish, and I, there were messages there were very interesting messages that had come up. In fact, just a short while after that, I actually came across this quote by Khalil Gibran, and I wanted to share this here, which is basically that money is like love. It will kill slowly and painfully the one who withholds it and enlivens the other who turns it on his fellow man.
Wow. So let us turn it on and let us turn it up.
And we have the flash offer up on the screen once again for you. There have been a lot of you who joined in late. You've still just picked up the flash offer anyway. Thank you for that. It's right here again with all the details. Please give us today to collate all the payments that come in. Your confirmation, welcome emails, etc. will reach you latest by day end today or first thing tomorrow morning. Please do give us some amount of time to just coordinate the whole thing and collate the whole thing basically. And yep, Nidhu, Is there anything else that you'd like to say here? Because my God, 37,050. Oh, by the way, people, after the call, it becomes 9,900. All right, just slightly more than double. Just remember that after the call, it's 9,900. Right now, for a few seconds more, 4,400 only rupees.
Right. I'm just going to remind everybody again, my darlings, when you pick up a package, you're also making a commitment. And commitment, in commitment, we've got to watch out for not being wishy-washy, like that guy who said, I will bring you the sky, I will bring you the moon, I will bring you the stars, I will cross mountains for you, I will cross rivers for you, but P.S., I will see you on Saturday only if it's not raining. So you got to watch out for that, my darlings. Where your desire for having a new money story, where your desire to trust, believe, have, make, keep money is that much strong. Basically, that you will do the rain dance till the rain comes. Till you have not gotten to the point where you are satisfied and happy with the money, you do not shut your shop. So keep at it, my darlings. I'm so looking forward to seeing you on the group. If you have any questions, bring it. Yeah.
Very sorry. We need a moment longer before closing because there is so much that you've given here already. Everybody knows that, can see that. But everyone, how Nidhu is, right? Like sometimes because she's in flow, she actually has a gift for everyone. It is a part of the bonus, yes, but Nidhu, and she will not leave without giving, giving, giving. So what you have, you'll be having in your call replay, all of you will all be having the Goddess Decree MP3 with it. So, Nidhu, it slipped your mind, and so let me remind you. So, you say it now.
Actually, I have brought it up, but I didn't tell you all that it's for everybody. We're going to be putting it up on the group as well. Yeah. Enjoy it, listen to it, 6 minutes of your time, and see how it energizes you the next morning. See what money messages show up. See what money shows up. See the unexpectedness of opportunities, gifts, compliments, treats, savings that show up. And of course, let us know as well. That's very important. You have to let us know. So, my darlings, I will take your leave. I appreciate you deeply for all the time that you've spent here. For those of y'all who had to wake up in the middle of the night and be on, for those of y'all who had to wake up really early in the morning and be on, thank you, my darlings. Thank you very much. And if there's one thing that we all get together to say, it is Jai Mata Di. And in fact, and we will say it in the traditional style that we do end up saying it, which is Sare Bolo.
Jai Mata Di.
Pyar se bolo. Jai
Mata Di.
Jor se bolo.
Jai Mata Di.
Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Thank you so much, my darlings. Namaste from India.